All right. Welcome. So happy to see you. So many familiar faces. Wonderful. Can you hear me, everybody? Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Beautiful. You want to tell me where you're from, your name, and where you're from? We have people from all over here. Yes, put in the chat. Where are you from? I see Victoria here, and we have Victoria, you're from BC, Germany, right? Canada, Germany, beautiful. Toronto, wonderful. Where else? I know there's a few of you here from Germany and Toronto, beautiful. Beautiful, wonderful to see you guys all, and welcome to this masterclass, how to navigate your love consciously. Who wouldn't want that, right? Especially when Valentine just behind us. And we just had this beautiful global event, let's call it Valentine, right? And it almost feels like, what is this business of love, right? Everybody seeking it, everybody wanting it, almost like this exchange currency. And I was wondering how to start with you. So I'm going to be very, very daring. And I'll tell you the truth. My background is I was born in Ukraine when it was still Russia. And they used to say, the Russian invented marriage, so you don't have to pay for sex. Basically, that's how they said it. And the question is then, who invented love? What was this business of love? And what is the currency of love? How much does it really cost us today to be loved? How much are we willing to pay emotionally, physically, mentally? It can be very expensive business, the business of love, right? And it's kind of our human desire, like something like inside of all of us, like who doesn't want love, right? It's one thing that is like, it's like air, it's like everywhere, right? So I really thought, how would I bring it up so we can understand the essence of love and how were we born to understand love and what is the challenges of love today and now, right? We can see, like I'm in a place where I can see several generations. There's 4 generations in my family, and I can see how it's changing from generation to generation. Like my parents' generation, it was whether you want to or not, happy or not, you stuck together. Divorce was so uncommon. And it was just, that's what you do. And then my generation, 50%, I mean, my kids are in their 20s and 30s, 50%, most of their friends are parents are either separated or divorced. And this generation is different. I really like what's happening right now. It's like, we're not doing it like our grandparents, meaning I don't want to be stuck in a toxic relationship. And I don't want to walk away with FU and just forget about it, right? So there's something here that's happening. This generation is very interesting. They want to know, they want to learn, they want to evolve. And I'm so grateful that I can witness that. People want to go even deeper. So when we talk about the business of love, and why am I saying business? Because when you are not in your conscious mind, and a lot of it, I'm really like to bring the attention of conscious and the subconscious, when you're aware of what's happening, when you truly know where it's coming from, when you're not the victim of your emotions and your thoughts. So look at this. Who are the first people that you learn about love? Drop it in the chat. Yeah, your parents, your mom and dad. You arrived? Absolutely. Absolutely. And look what happens. What happens if anybody have witnessed a newborn who comes into the family, right? My grandpa used to say to my parents, used to say, you have this piece of meat, now you have to make it a person, right? So it was a piece of meat, it was never a person, it was arriving, and now you need to make something out of it. So when you look at the newborn, and I have a 2-year-old granddaughter, and when you look at the newborn, what's happened right away when there's newborn arrives? What he or she, this new thing learning from the parent? It needs air, it needs to be fed, it needs to be changed. There's something that it's already needs, right? There's already this neediness. I cannot survive because I need you. You see what happens? You're just born and you already know that you need, right? And this neediness, it's really sticking with you because now you know, okay, they're the one who's changing me. They're the one who's fitting me. They're the one that's rocking me or not rocking me. And now I need to give something in exchange to get his attention. So here's your first, you just arrived and you're already learning about love. You're already learning what love gonna cost you, how cute you need to be. What do you need to do to get attention? Do you need to scream and yell, or do you need to giggle and laugh, right? So you're already exchanging. That's why I'm calling it the business of love, right? As soon as you're born, you're already exchanging currency, you're already exchanging love for attention. What do I need to do to get more love? And this love business, it moves on. It depends what kind of background you came from. What is your place in your family? Very often I see middle children, right? And I don't know if you guys know the middle child syndrome. I have a middle child. I'm not a middle child, I'm the eldest, but I have 3 sons and one of them is a middle child. And there's this thing about middle child syndrome. So the middle child, it's neither the elder or the youngest, and it's actually a syndrome, right? And it's, what does it needs to do to get for attention? So sometimes they get attention by being negative, and sometimes they're being over cute and over impressing. They need to top the siblings. They need to be more cuter than the younger one, and smarter than the older one, and comfortable for the parents. If that doesn't work, they go into crisis. So it depends. What is your place in your family? What is your place in your family to get love, to get attention? So already you're carving for yourself some kind of a pathway. How am I going to exchange love? What do I need to do to get love? See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It's an exchange currency, right? And if you look at the eldest child, for instance, I was the eldest child in my family, and I had a younger brother who I had to take care of. And there's responsibility, the load of responsibility of our older child. So when you grow up, you become responsible, responsible for others, right? I take responsibility. I'm doing what I'm doing probably because I'm the older child. And then there is the youngest child, right? And the youngest child, everybody say, what about the youngest child? You can put it in the chat. They are what? They're so spoiled. They get away with anything. Right? They're so cute. Not enough that they get the love of their parents, they also get the love of the sibling if they're lucky. And sometimes they get the bullying of the sibling, because now the attention of the parents shifting to the younger sibling. So yeah, it can be bullied by the older sibling, because the attention been stolen away. So you can see how love is currency. And then we're moving into our adulthood, right? And we're kind of thinking, okay, how do I get love? Right? The hormones are developing, and your body is developing, and it's kind of natural and normal to be desired, to be desiring love, to be desiring being touched, exploring your body, hooking up with other people, noticing how they make you feel. But so far, what you learned about love, that it's a currency exchange. It's coming from a place of need. So what are we continuing doing as adults, as we're growing up, as teenager, right? We're continuing staying in this mode of I need. Who can give me the attention? Who can love me? Who can support me? Who can give me what I cannot give myself, right? And that's what happens here. And this is a trap. But this trap is evolving and changing, because we are giving different skills right now. People are awakening, and that's what I'm calling it, conscious love navigation. When you come from a place of need, it's not conscious. It's basically babysitting your wounds. And you're looking for someone, please love me because I can't love myself. Please love me because I'm so bored and lonely with myself. Right? Like I had this client who said to me, I am so lucky, I don't need to love my body. My husband loves it for me. Right? And it's a trap. It's a real trap. She found somebody who can worship her body. In the meantime, she's full of insecurities. Right? And it's happening again and again. Right? So we have not We have not learned the skills of how to be conscious of love, right? The unconditional love was not given right away at birth. It's just the condition of humanity. This is just the way it is. You're born and you already start to exchange the currency of love. What do I need to do to get this? What do I need to do to get that? If you remember when you were a child and you wanted something very, very badly, you needed to go to mommy and daddy and go, mommy, please, you're the best, or daddy, you're the best. Can you please get it for me? Or you throw a tantrum. Either way, you would get away with that by reacting one way or the other, right? So it wasn't conditional. The love wasn't unconditional. There was conditions. There's something you needed to do to get it, to be there, to experience that. And in our relationship, we find those traps again and again and again, right? So you can see so far, what I talked about is the very conditioned love that most of us are experiencing, right? What is moving us to unconditional love? At which point do we awaken and we say, I'm done with this business of love. This currency is too expensive. I'm paying with my emotions. I'm paying with my med house. I'm paying with my body. Sometimes you're going into a health crisis because of love. When do we say, enough? I'm done paying for love. You can put it in the chat, or if you want to speak up, by all means, raise your hand. When are we done this market of love? What does it really take to be done with this market of love? I need to do this to get that. I need to be this to do that. When are we done? When are we had enough? What stops you? If you haven't stopped yet, most of the time what stops us is the pain, is the aching, the seeking, the broken heart that's being broken again and again. Then you go to yourself, what's wrong with me? Why is it happening again? Why can't I find the right person? Like I had this client who said, I keep marrying the wrong person. I keep marrying the wrong person. Right? So when we're done this market of love, it's when we really ready to meet our own emptiness. When we are ready to meet our own pain. When we are ready to meet ourselves exactly as we are. When we are done blaming, if you are in a relationship, it's when you're done blaming your partner. Before, when somebody had this kind of an awakening, and I'm talking 30, 40 years ago or more, an awakening of love, you had the choice of going to monasteries, sitting, meditating, connecting, breathing. Today, the transformation is very rapid. You transform right here, right now. And there's nothing better and faster to evolve. It's through your partner, if you receive it in the right way, right? So if you look at all of your relationship, right, and all the aches and all the pains, it's nice to look, and all the celebrations, right? Because there's, in a relationship, you also have some good moments and some bad. You wouldn't be in a relationship if it wasn't sold to you at the moment of maybe it was lust, maybe it was great sex, maybe it was great communication, but some moment you say yes to this relationship and you decide to stick through it, right? So in this moment, when you are really ready to admit and take your partner, right? Not as pointing fingers, why you do this and why you don't do that. When you look at all of your partners, when you look at the background of your partner, maybe you had one partner, maybe you had several partners. When you look and you see, what is the common theme with my partners? What is repeating itself again and again? So what's happening once we are born and raised with our parents, and they kind of gave us this kind of template of what love is, if we are unconscious, what do you think our partners are doing? They're repeating the stories of our parents, right? Because that's what we learn about love. We learn about love through our parents. So when it feels familiar, right? When somebody loves us like our mom or our dad, we call it love, and we get into the relationship and the lesson continue. Right? Because your parents, when you choose your parents, you choose your teachers for this life journey. So all the complaints that you have around your parents, all the list of complaints, some of us have, I definitely had one, right? Those are the things that need to be evolved and changed in you, because at a certain point, I like to say 16 or 18, you're kind of already ready to take responsibility for how you do want to be loved. How you do. Okay, let's just get this one in and we'll stop at that. Sorry, I have my assistant here, Layla. So I told her not to get anyone in past certain time, but this is the last person to get in. So let me get back to my trace of thought with parents, right? Parents who were when the lesson is not completed with your parents, the lesson is continuing with their partners because it feels familiar, right? So like I mentioned, when you have your big list, right? This is because mom and dad, this is because mom and dad. You can continue carrying the list for a very long time to the rest of your life. I definitely know people who are very comfortable with carrying this list and saying, well, because of my mom and dad, this is what's happening to me, right? But at a certain point, you need to learn how to be your own parent, how to be your own child, how to parent your parent and how to parent your child, right? How to be the adult in all of that. Otherwise, if you don't grow out and transform the lessons of your parents, you will carry it into your relationships. So if you're in a relationship right now, or if you're not in a relationship, who is that? Should we say one more and that's it? Okay, one more and that's it, but that's it. All right. So if you are, and that sticks my thought, my trace of thought all the time out. So when you if you are in a relationship or you're not in a relationship, in both ends, you're kind of meeting yourself, whether you're by yourself or with your partner. If you are in a relationship, like I mentioned before, your partner will repeat and will reflect everything that was not worked through. So the not conscious way, it's pointing the finger at your partner, right? And I'm not talking if you're in an abusive relationship, if there's physical abuse or verbal abuse and it's time to get out, it's to get out, you don't drag it, right? But if you're in a relationship where it's a little bit uncomfortable, you somewhere feel you compromising yourself, whatever your partner is reflecting to you, it's the relationship with yourself. And that's a beautiful, the fastest way to evolve and change. If there is no partner, you're by yourself, you can look people around you, mom, dad, close friends, everything that you like about them and you hate about them. This is already what's happening in you, right? The world is a funny place. It reflects everything inside of us. Everything inside of us, it shows outside of us. And it's a big, big responsibility. First, take the complaint list that you have towards your parents, right? And kind of embody it and see, how can I grow from here? How can I evolve? How can I change from here? And then the next list that I have towards my friends, towards my significant other, right? And your significant other and your parents, they're supercharged and super trained how to press your buttons. They know exactly where to go and they never miss, right? They know exactly how to do it. Why? Because that's why you've been attracted. You've been attracted to your significant others or to very close friends, so the lesson can continue, right? So how do you know if the lesson has continued? How do you know if you have resolved your lesson? How do you know if you have evolved and changed? Anybody? You can drop it in the chat if you wish. You can raise your hand. You can just speak. Yeah. So how do you know that the lesson have changed? Sometimes it's a walking away, right? But even if you walked away, go back and ask, why did I chose that? If you are there in a relationship, right? how do you know that the lesson is complete? It's when you can be grateful for the lesson. If you're still upset about it and it's still triggering stuff in you, you're still evolving, you're still changing, you're still transforming, you're still learning about love. And that's okay, right? And some of you might go, how much longer I can do that? How much longer am I going to meet the same person under a different name, right? If you're conscious about it and you really go through the list and kind of connect, what am I learning here? How's the lesson repeat? Not for long. Not for long, because you're conscious. You will see why am I repeating this lesson? Why is it happening to me again and again, right? So the name of the workshop was How to Be the Love That You're Seeking. Can you connect the dots now? Right? When you're taking all this love and you're kind of expecting it and demanding it from somewhere else, you're basically wanting for someone to feeling your hurts and your wounds and your pains and all of the above. And it's really not fair for the other person to give them so much responsibility for what are you responsible for. Right? And you might have somebody who will take in the role of your babysitting or nurturing your wounds, but you're not evolving and you're not changing. You're probably in the same pattern. And if you're in a relationship repeating the same story again and again, really stop yourself and ask, why am I repeating the same story again and again? What is happening here? Right? So what I noticed, I'm going to talk about certain traps in the relationship when we are, so far I just want to check before I move on. Is everybody clear with me? Everybody on board with me? Put a 1 in the chat if everything clear. If anyone have any, thank you. If anyone has any questions at this point about anything that I shared or want to share something, now it's a good time before I move on. Okay. So when there's different traps in the relationship by yourself or with the other, right? And that's why I call it the business of love, the currency of love. What are we willing to pay to be loved if we empty inside, right? So if you are in a relationship with yourself, through honest relationship with yourself, where you're comfortable, happy, and content with yourself, there's a trap there. The trap, I'm so comfortable, I don't want anybody to bother my Zen moment because it feels so good now, right? And I find lots of people, especially on the spiritual path, who got to this comfort, they're so comfortable with themselves, right? That sharing that space with someone else can be like terrifying because they have the memory of previous relationships. And they don't want to go back there because they're so comfortable with themselves, right? But that's a good time really to check how much I have evolved. Who am I choosing now, right? Am I ready for conscious love? Am I ready to love and respect myself and be honest with myself at all times? Am I ready to look at the mirror at all times? What is my partner mirroring me, right? That's what I call conscious relationship, right? So there's the stuck moment when you can be with yourself and loving it so much that being with someone else can be very, very scary, right? So that's the trap of self-love, right? Everything has a curse and a blessing. When we are looking for partnership, right, there's a trap there too, because sometimes what happens, one partner, one person, or a certain relationship can offer you something that feels so good that you just compromise everything else that's important on the list. How many of you can relate to that? Yeah, some of you nodding your heads. Yeah, it feels so good that maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay. And then time passes by and you go, uh-oh, I just compromised myself. That's the business of love. You were ready to sell the love because the currency of what you like was so big, right? It could have been physical relationship was so awesome. It could be a conversation so beautiful, but the physical relationship really not there, right? It could be anything and anywhere, but you see, that's when we start to compromise. When one thing is so good, we let go of other things, but then it comes and catches you, right? So when you're changing and evolving and you kind of learn to love yourself and you learn and you're ready to go out and share yourself, really be very clear on the list, what is non-negotiable, and stick to that. Stick to that, right? Because love can be like a drug, right? And you're willing to kind of sabotage yourself and sell yourself to get this currency of love a bit more and compromise what was really, really important to you. Right? Sounds familiar? Yeah. So there's something happens with women and something happens with men. We have a few men here and we have most of us are women. So the trap for the females is, who can put it in the chat? What is the trap when they see the guy that they fall in and then there is like, what do they like to do? They're the fixer-upper. They're the fixer-upper. Yeah, change the man, fixer-upper, right? If I can change you, I can love you. All right, and that's a big trap for us, and we can fall in love with the appearance or something is there and something is not, and then we say, no, I can make it happen. And why? Well, I don't blame the feminine, because the feminine is the creation. She's the guy, she's earth, she likes to create. So here she has this masculine who is just like, this is what I am. And she's like, don't worry, I'll work with it. So what happens in the end of the story? Once you put yourself in this kind of relationship, I can change you, I can fix you. Burnout. Burnout. Yes, always let down. Absolutely. Yeah, it's a burnout. But you agreed to that. You agreed to be a fixer-upper. I can change you. So notice the curse and the blessing of being a female, right? You're the creator. And it's very hard for us to accept what it really is. And if you can love, not love how it is, this moment, and this person as is, don't invest yourself because you'll be burned out. It's an endless chase. Right? There's a trap for a man. What does guys like to do? I'm gonna be your hero. I'm gonna be your hero. You can count on me. Trust me. I'll take care of you. All right? I'm gonna be your hero. So if he's coming, I'm gonna be your hero. Who is he looking for? Someone insecure, someone helpless. I'm gonna be your hero. And where did they end up? There was this beautiful workshop I was listening, called Men on Fire, and he was saying, the workshop was named From Zero to Hero, right? And how this hero transforms into zero, right? Because it's somebody, he will take someone who's whiny, who's not happy with herself. He will want to be pleasing. He will want to be her hero. And maybe he was in the beginning, right? But this is someone where if you want to be her hero, it's a trap for a guy, right? A self-sufficient, evolved woman who can rely on herself. I'm talking about evolved woman, changed woman, transformed woman, right? She doesn't need a hero. She needs a partner. Everybody with me? Any questions so far? Yeah, so that's a lot of information. I'd like to hear a little bit back from you. What did you get out of it? What is your trap? Where do you find your trap in the relationship? You can speak up, unmute yourself, or you can drop something in the chat. Save the day. What is your trap? How are you selling yourself? What is your currency exchange here for love? What are you willing to pay? What you've been paying for love? How have you been compromising yourself? What is the repeating theme that's happening again and again? Everybody's speechless. We can learn a lot from each other. Yeah. Take care of my partner more than myself. Yeah, absolutely. Right? What do we gain out of taking care of my partner more than we take care of ourselves? What do you gain out of it? There is a reason why we sell it. Me too, right? Me three, right? It's a trap, right? Take care of my partner more than I take care of myself, right? So what happens to so this is a fixer-upper, right? I'm taking care of my partner more than I can take care of myself. For instance, I worked with a woman who her partner had addictions issues, right? And she was completely burned out. That's it. It's like she loved the man. He had addictions, and all of her energy just went into fixing him, into smothering him, into making him okay. And finally, she was burned out. She had to come, and she's saying, "This is what's happening. My partner, he has addictions issues. He's using drugs, and that's him, right?" When I ask her again and again, who has addictions? Who has addictions? And she said it many times, my partner. And the separation, that the addictions are not her, the addictions is the partner. Right? So when you draw this line and understand, you can love somebody with addiction, love them unconditionally, but don't try to change them. That's what it's gonna happen. That's what it's gonna be. Right? I know this woman, she was in a very long relationship, and every day she had her husband till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, he will go and he will have his scotch. And she will say, it's like almost he's going and having his affair with scotch with this other woman, right? She didn't change them. She accepted him as is, right? But she knew she can have him only till 5 o'clock. That's how long he can be a husband. After 5, it would be her time to do something else. And I'm not saying to stay in a relationship like that. That's not the message. But if any of you have any addicting relationship somewhere where there's any addictions with a partner, remember that it's not for you to change it. It's your partner addiction. Otherwise, you can do what? Drain yourself completely by changing your partner, right? So what does evolved relationship looks like? What does evolved relationship looks like? What does it feel like? What does it feel like when it doesn't cost me anything? I don't need to pay anything. I don't need to be uncomfortable. What does evolved relationship feels like? Calm, satisfying, right? Right. Yeah, so you can know the roller coaster is not evolved relationship. Right? Tender, loving, playful, fun, loving, yeah. Fulfilling, yeah. Balance, Right. And I have this word, and I don't know if you will agree with me, but I have this vision explaining what evolved relationship feels like. It feels like your house slippers. Yeah. You know how it feels comfortable, it feels good, right? And sometimes like you can even compare. I'll compare so you can have a clear picture what happens in a relationship, even with your wardrobe. Like I'm very big on wearing comfortable clothes, and that's just me, and nothing can sell me on that. Whether I'm going out or not, I need to be comfortable. But I see how many women, they will wear something that is less comfortable just to look certain way, just to have certain impression, just to do this, just to do that. And same thing would happen with the relationship. You can get yourself into a relationship that doesn't feel like house sleepers, that can feel quite uncomfortable. It can feel restricted. It can feel pressure. You can feel the pressure of it, right? Can you relate to what I'm saying? Yeah. So one way to measure your relationship, right? Once you have mastered the relationship with yourself, here lots of yeses. You like the house sleepers. Yeah. So I lost my thought again every time I'm paying attention to what you're writing. So when we're in a relationship, like I mentioned before, being uncomfortable and comfortable, right? Like almost this close. But when you're in a relationship, one way to kind of measure, am I in a good relationship, bad relationship, right? So it's nice to see, especially if we in a longer relationship after like a few months or maybe a year or so, is this person making me better or worse? If I'm with this person, is it making me better or worse? Right? And that's a good way to kind of know for us, am I in the right relationship? And if I'm not comfortable, it doesn't feel like house sleepers, or you are very comfortable clothes that you just like to wear. You know how there's this, when you do your laundry, but there's this shirt or this something that you'll wear it again and again. That's how, because it feels comfortable, it feels good. That's how it should feel when you're when you're with the right person. But to get there, you first need to feel comfortable with yourself. Right? You first need to feel comfortable with yourself. So if you take your person as a teacher, right, if it doesn't feel comfortable, before you walk away and put an X and say, this is the wrong person for me, use them, really use them. What are they here to teach me? What buttons are depressing, right? Use these people. Like I mentioned in the beginning, right? You use your parents, your friends, everybody around you, everybody who are you interacting on a regular basis. That's where you kind of check in. What buttons are depressing? And instead of getting upset, you're like, oh, thank you, I have a button here. Let's work. What is it about? Right? And interesting when you're, for instance, if you have a friend or a partner, for instance, there's jealousy, right? There can be jealousy in a relationship and it can be very frustrating. So when somebody in a relationship and there's jealousy, so first thing that comes up for you, you're saying so much truth, yes. So when there's jealousy in the relationship, it's issues of trust, right? So it's trust. So if you're in a relationship, you feel, oh my God, this person doesn't trust me. So what question should I ask myself? What do they reflect in me? Anybody can put it in the chat? What should I ask myself? If this person doesn't trust me, what does it reflect in me? Do I trust myself? You see what's happening here? If you're in a jealous relationship and this person doesn't trust you, right? Really ask yourself where I don't trust myself. Very often, when I have clients, somebody who comes, he's cheated on me, she cheated on me. Nobody cheats on you first. First of all, you are becoming disloyal to yourself. And then your partner just mirrors it and being disloyal to you. You see how the mirror works? So if you compromise yourself and was not loyal to yourself, was not loyal to your truth, guess what's going to happen in your relationship? That's the message that you're sending out, right? And it's nice to go when you're looking at all of those clips and links. I'm throwing a lot today. You can see that the things coming up to you. So when you're throwing all of that, you can see it's nice to go to the root cause. Why am I not trusting myself? Why am I not loyal to myself? Right? Where is it coming from? And a lot of that coming from the first love, your relationship, which was your parents. Right? And it's just repeating again and again. Like if you did not trust your parents, you did not trust the love of your parents, most likely you will end up in a relationship where there is no trust. Right? So there's work to be done. It doesn't mean that you are cursed and that's forever. That's your lesson. That's your lesson for today and now. That's your lesson to evolve and change. How do I learn to trust myself? How do I learn to be loyal to myself? Right? If my partner doesn't listen to me, guess what? I'm not listening to myself. Your partner just reflecting. Right? So you can see how being by myself and working for myself can be a trap, because you get to be so comfortable. Nobody pressing your buttons, right? But we evolve the most with the partner, right? So if any of you in your solo relationship and it feels great, amazing, super great, right? The evolvement happens much faster through a partner. They come here for a reason. They come here to teach us. They come here to show us. They come here to help us to transform. And we're doing a lot of this work in my 10-week program, where we're working very intensively on taking responsibility on everything that happened in our life, transforming the relationship with the parents, with yourself, with the higher self, with everything that there is, so you can be comfortable with yourself, so you can attract the people that you want, so you can transform the relationship. Very often, even if a couple come to me, I never work with two people. I work because each person reflects the other. What one sees, the other doesn't. So it's your own journey, right? It's very solo journey. And then when they finish the transformation, the 10 session each, they can come back and see relationship in the whole. They see each other as the teacher. They can receive each other as a teacher, not as someone who destroyed their life or don't believe in them or don't trust them. When you take your partner as your teacher, the evolution and the transformation happens much, much, much faster. Everybody's silent. Any questions? Okay. I'm going to take us a little bit deeper. There's a few people here who already done the 10 session steps, and they evolve and change. And if you feel like you want to share what it did for you and how you evolve and change, that's great. And if not, that's fine too. But I want us to go deeper through connecting to the subconscious mind. And what happened here when I threw the information out to you, just throwing it out, something happened and something shifted, right? It's like aha moment, right? And probably you could see yourself in certain aspects of whatever I was sharing about relationship and about love and how to be the love that you're seeking. Right? We have this whole business of love, and it is business of love till we learn, and it's going to continue being the business of love till you learn how to love yourself unconditionally. Before you learn how to love yourself unconditionally, don't even dare to demand it from someone else, because it's gonna just spiral you down into places that are very uncomfortable. Right? So learning how to love myself unconditionally, it's an art. Right? And that's what we go through when we go through the 10-step transformation. And it's a very deep and intense transformational path of very deep work for people who are ready and willing. I never take on people unless I spoke to them before, because you really need to be ready for this process. So when you commit to this unconditional love, the question is, can you love yourself at your worst just as much as you love yourself at your best? Right? And that's the key to unconditional love. When you start training yourself to love yourself at your worst just as much as you're loving yourself at your best. This is just the start of it. Because what happens when you start realizing what's happening and how the world reflects you, and you go, oh, I can't believe it again, I'm there. I thought I already transformed it and changed it. And now you go with the language that your parents used to use with you. Why did you? Why didn't you? Right? And that's create more tension, and it takes you away from unconditional love. Right? When you learn to love yourself at your worst and at your best, same way, that's when you're actually tapping in being the love that you're seeking. That's when you're tapping into this unconditional love. And it's a training process. Because how we are being trained as a child, I love you, I hate you. Push-pull relationship. If you do that, you're a good girl, you're a good boy. If you do that, you're a bad girl, you're a bad boy. There's labels. I'm good or bad, I'm good or bad, I'm good or bad. When you're growing up, you continue with the labels. I'm good or bad, I'm good or bad. Nothing unconditional here. Business of love. What are you exchanging for that, right? So tapping into unconditional love, and that's what we're going to try today. We're going to tap a little bit deeper and see how we can connect to this unconditional love. What this unconditional love really means, right? And unconditional love, it's something that we can not learn from our mind, because the mind will categorize it into yes, no. Even our heart can deceive us. It can go into love it, hate it, right? Our body can deceive us because it's also giving us a sensation of up and down, right? Unconditional love, the true learning or the true teacher of unconditional love would be who? The higher self, right? And what is the higher self really is, right? How can you love yourself through the higher self? And that's the separation that happened in Western world. God is outside of me, right? Love is outside of me. Somebody who loves me unconditionally is not me. It's outside of me. I need to pray to it. It punishes me and rewards me. It's outside of me, right? But once you connect to this God within, or to this unconditional love within you, or to this higher self within you, from here you can start learning the steps of unconditional love towards yourself. Right? Is everybody clear? Yeah. There's a few of you here who already did the in past workshop, who have done the breath work. I'm going to take us through meditation that's going to connect through 5 bodies, and the 5 bodies are physical, emotional, mental, memory, and the higher self, right? Memory is everything that you've been programmed, all the experience that you have done before this moment, right? So it's still attached to something. And then the higher self, it's the one that not connected to neither one. It's free of the memory. It's free of the mind. It's free of the emotion. It's free of the physical. It's the higher self, right? And in meditation, I'm going to take you through the 5 body activation, and we're going to connect to this unconditional love and go even deeper. All right. So if anybody needs to take a bathroom break, if you read your instruction, you need to have a place to sit up comfortably and a place to lie down comfortably, and preferably some water. Everybody have a place to sit up comfortably and lie down comfortably? Some nods, okay. Anybody needs a few minutes to run to the bathroom, prepare your water, prepare your blanket? Yes, okay. So we'll wait a few minutes. And if anybody has any questions about unconditional love or everything that's been shared, now it's a good time, and I have my cup of tea. Yeah. Okay. So I'll just start talking a little bit about the breath. Thank you, Leila. And by the way, my assistant Leila is here. I don't know if I introduced her. So if you have any technical issues, you addressed it with Leila. And anything else you ask me. So we're going to experiencing 2 breaths. I'll talk a little bit about the holotropic breath, of which we'll be doing second. And we'll be doing some grounding first. Has anybody here experienced holotropic breath before? I mean, there's some who have done this workshop and some who never had it. Anybody did never experience holotropic breath or doesn't know anything about it? Okay. So holotropic breath was discovered in the 70s by a psychiatrist. And psychiatrist was working with LSD, and his name was Stanislav Grof, if anybody wants to look him up. He was working with LSD to get couples into their subconscious minds so he can and he healed lots of relationships through LSD. Then LSD became illegal, and he was looking for ways to connect to the higher self or this unconditional love that people can experience. So he looked through different techniques, and actually that holotropic breath was in the beginning practiced only, I think, for 5 or 10 minutes. And then he went past that, and people will get into deeper states of mind. It will be something like you experience after meditating for several hours or after using some medicinal plant. So the breath is very effective, it's fast, and it goes straight to the subconscious mind. So whatever chatter you have, if you have here, love it, hate it, want to, don't want to, the holotropic breath will kind of balance it. And even today, if today you didn't have any aha moment, the aha moment will happen throughout the week. Okay, it will still continue to happen. That's how deep this work is. Most holotropic practitioners have people just breathe for an hour. And I don't believe that, I don't trust it, because they're going in for the psychedelic experience, right? So very often people come out, oh, I saw flowers, I saw butterfly, my angel came, give me the message. Right? My question is always on the spiritual path, when you seeing angels and demons or whoever you're seeing, is how is it helping you in this life here? Whatever you saw, whatever you experience, how is it helping you here? Whether you can have outer body experience, inner body experience, different planets, whatever, wherever you go, right? There's going to be a time and place when you're not going to be in your body. Right now, you're in the body in this lifetime. So whatever experiences you have, it's like, how is it helping you here and now? The way we're doing it, or the way I found most efficient with my clients, is we're doing first grounding, and then we're doing the holotropic breath, okay? So the grounding breath, I'm going to demonstrate both breaths, and then we're going to go into the experience. We're going to hold our fingertips together. All 5 fingers are touching. Okay, so you can just watch me for now. I'm going to turn it upside down, and it's creating a cup, and it's going to go right down into your lower belly, into your groin, right? All the fingers are facing down, and your palms are open, like you're holding a vase. Right? And that's imagining as you were holding your pelvic floor, your whole root chakra, everything that's connected to Mother Earth. And the breath, you can just close your eyes with me now and just breathe through your nose, inhaling and exhaling. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your nose. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Very good. And this is just grounding, and we'll do a little bit more once I'll show you the second breath. Because the way we're going to be doing it, we're going to be moving from the grounding breath into the holotropic breath, which is going to be lying down. So it's preferably if you have a place to lay down. If you don't, just have maybe a comfortable couch where you at least can kind of lay back and be comfortable. All right. The best is lying down on the floor. If you need support for your back, please do. We're going to be practicing it sitting up, because so you can experience the breath. But after we're done the first part of breath, you'll be moving to the second part of breath. Am I too confusing? Are you with me? Okay, so right now we'll just experience the second breath. And the second breath goes like that. I'm going to lower the camera. You can put your hand on your heart, or both hands on your heart. Your mouth is slightly open. And you breathe into your heart with your mouth open. And the breath goes like that. Just watch me first. And I would like you to try that out before you lay down. Try it sitting up and see how it feels. Hands on your chest. And feel as you're breathing into your heart, out of your mouth. You can close your eyes, into your heart, out of your mouth. 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 Good. Into your heart, out of your mouth. The mouth is always open, slightly open. Right, and you can let go of your hands, open your eyes. Good. What did you notice? What's the difference between the two breaths? How did it feel? Energy was grounded, yes. Right, right. So the first breath is very grounding, right? And the second breath is more of this experience when you let go of the mind, right? Because the concentration is into breathing into your heart, and you will see how it feels like. All right. So everybody, we will start sitting up, and we'll have our hands together, turning them upside down, holding the cup. Feet are on the floor. If you can, do take your socks off if you haven't yet. And start breathing through your nose, into your nose, out of your nose, closing your eyes and just grounding and connecting. Feeling the surface below you. Feel what supports you. And feel the surface above you. Feel the space around you. Now start feeling this body that is breathing. As you're breathing your attention into your crown, relax your crown. Relax your back of your head and the front. Relax your shoulders and your arms. Relax your chest and your belly. Relax your spine and your back. Relax your hips, your thighs, your knees. Relax all the way down to your feet. Breathing to your whole physical body, inhaling and exhaling. Be aware of this whole physicality. Be aware of your emotional body. Any emotions that are here, everything is welcome. Nothing to change, nothing to shift. Be aware of your mental body, of all of the thoughts. Again, be aware of the physical, emotional, and mental. Be aware of the breath and the breather. Now be aware of your tailbone and your crown and the space that between the tailbone and the crown. And imagine you can energize the space that between your tailbone and the crown, like a rod of energy. Give it a color, give it a shape. Now imagine you can extend this road all the way down into Mother Earth. And upwards, all the way up into Father Sky. And you extend it all the way above and below. Now be aware of your heart. And imagine the sphere of energy in your heart as it's traveling down through this road, all the way down into the heart of Mother Earth. Down, down, down into the heart of Mother Earth. It's nurturing, it's receiving, it's cleansing. And then it's coming upwards through this road, through your tailbone, through your spine, through your heart, through your crown, all the way upwards into the heart of Father Sky. Up, 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 up into the heart of Father Sky. It's receiving, it's nurturing, it's cleansing, it's transforming. And then the inhale is dropping down, 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 down into your own heart. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Now feel the three hearts connected. Mother Earth, Father Sky, and your own heart. Be aware of your physical body, emotional body, mental body, memory body. And look at the higher self. The higher self that has no wishes. The higher self that doesn't have do's or don'ts. The higher self that loves you and accepts you exactly as you are at every present moment. That is the higher self. And just breathe through that. And now through the eyes of the higher self, look at yourself as you are today and now. And ask the higher self, what do I need to learn about love today and now? What needs to evolve? What needs to change? What do I need to learn about love right now? And allow the higher self to take you through your memory body. Allow the higher self to take you through all the parts and all the lessons that you have learned about love. What you have learned about love this year. What did you learn about love last year? What did you learn about love in the past 5 years? What did you learn about love 10 years? What did you learn about love as a teenager? What did you learn about love when you started school? What did you learn about love when you were a child, to your parents, in your family circumstances? What was love then like? What did you learn about love when you were a baby? What did you learn about love when you were born? What was the circumstances of your birth? Were you held? Were you loved? You might be adopted. What did you learn about love when you were in the womb? And see if you can remember how you were conceived. How much love was there when you were conceived? And there had to be love. For the sperm and the egg to meet and release itself, there had to be love. And just breathe into that. And from your conception to today and now, look at love as your biggest teacher. And ask, what is love is teaching me? And breathe into that. What is love teaching me? Who are those people in my life that I met that teaching me about love again and again? What are the lessons that are being repeated again and again? What am I to learn about love? Where do I need to love myself more? Where do I need to be more honest with myself more? Where do I need to be more loyal to myself? Keep breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Listening to the whispers and the lessons of love. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Allow yourself to receive all the lessons of love from your conception to today and now, with gratitude, with love, and say, thank you, love, for showing me. Thank you for being honest with me. Very gently, as gently as you can, move yourself to lying down. And bring your cameras with you and put it sideways so I can see you. It's possible. And when you have moved to lying down, and when you are comfortable, stretch your whole body on the floor or on the surface that you're lying down. Opening your mouth, hands beside you. Legs are straight unless you need a pillow to support your back or your neck. The best way is to do it straight unless you need support. And invite breath in, just like you invite love in. Breathing into your heart, out of your mouth. Into your heart, out of your mouth. Into your heart, out of your mouth. Inviting love in. Inviting love in. What does it feel like to breathe love in? Into your heart, out of your mouth. Into your heart, out of your mouth. Into your heart, out of your mouth. And your mouth might get a little bit dry in the beginning, which is okay. Just keep breathing. Notice to the rhythm of the breath. Notice to the rhythm of love. Notice to the rhythm of unconditional love. What would it take to love me unconditionally? How can I receive myself with no conditions? I don't need to be neither better or worse. I love me as I am right now. I love me at my worst. I love me at my best. I love me unconditionally. I love me at my best. I love me at my worst. I love me unconditionally. What does it take to stay loyal to yourself no matter what? That's how you meet love in its true essence. When you're loyal to yourself unconditionally. You don't need to sacrifice for love. You don't need to compromise for love. You don't need to sabotage yourself for love. It's just given to you unconditionally. And if you somewhere dreaming or wishing this perfect relationship with someone else, with the beloved, allow yourself to imagine it at its full potential. How would you be loved? How would you be heard? How you would be listened to? How would you be caressed? How would you be? How would they be there for you all the time? Now see if you can give that to yourself. Everything that you're expecting from the other, from your beloved. How can you give it to yourself? How can you listen to yourself more? How can you drop the judgment, drop the criticism, and just be with whatever is there? And keep whispering to yourself, I love you at your best. I love you at your worst. I love you unconditionally. Breathing into your heart, out of your mouth. Staying with the breath, connected to your heart, connected to the true essence of love. Just let it travel through your body. See if there's any sensation in your body and see what parts of your body needs to be loved unconditionally. If there's anywhere discomfort, bring your breath into it and breathe even more. Love it unconditionally. Look at your life. Look at parts of your life when you need to learn how to love yourself unconditionally. Maybe when you were not the best version of yourself. With a friend, with a beloved, with a parent, with a sibling, can you love yourself unconditionally? Breathing into your heart, out of your mouth. Staying with the breath, going even deeper. Let love teach you what love is. Into your heart, out of your mouth. Into your heart, out of your mouth. And really ask yourself, what would it take to let go of old patterns that no longer serving me? What would it take to let go of the sabotage? What would it take to let go of this addiction to love? Needed to be needed, needed to be wanted, needed to be the hero, needed to be the fixer-upper. Into your heart, out of your mouth. Into your heart, out of your mouth. Breathing into love. Let love teach you. Let love guide you. Let love transform you. And just see in your life today now, with whatever habits, wishes, dreams, disappointments, whatever you have, ask yourself, how can I love me more? How can I love me more? And go even deeper. And go even deeper. Keep breathing and listening to the whispers of your heart. Listening to the truth of love. And when you connect to this true deep love, the meaning of love, the meaning of full acceptance from head to toe, skin to bone, full acceptance of who you are today now. Only then and now, allow yourself to visualize that you're accepted and loved head to toe, skin to bone by your beloved, by your friends, by your family, by the world. Only when you truly, truly, truly learn to love yourself head to toe, skin to bone, only now you can expect it and expand it from others. And see, as you're breathing into this unconditional love towards yourself, see if you can expand it a little bit further into someone else where you had expectations, when you had hopes and dreams, maybe your parents, maybe a partner, maybe a friend, and see if you can love them unconditionally. There's no one they need to be, nothing they have to change. They're perfect exactly as they are, just like you are. And see this exchange of energy as you're learning to expand the love that you are, the exception, expectations, and everything is dissolving. And as you're learning to pour it out after your cup has been filled and share this unconditional love, it's coming back to you. You are loved unconditionally. That's the essence of love. And can you love those who are less than perfect? Can you love this Mother Earth exactly for what it is? With all the disasters and all the great things that's happening. Love her exactly as she is. Can you love this humanity exactly as it is? As it's evolving and changing with trial and error. Yeah. That's what essence of unconditional love. Into your heart, out of your mouth. Just imagine this unconditional love like a ripple in water expanding from your heart into the hearts of your loved ones, and from your heart, loved ones, into your heart, expanding to the hearts of the humanity, and from humanity back into your heart. It expanding to the heart of Mother Earth, and from Mother Earth back to your heart. It expanding to the heart of Father Sky, to the heart of the universe, and from the universe, from the heart of the universe, back into your love heart. And just allow yourself to receive and give this beautiful exchange of love. That's the true currency of love, when there's no expectations. Breathing in and breathing out. Receiving yourself and others as they are. Into your heart, out of your mouth. Into your heart, out of your mouth. Into your heart, out of your mouth. Just allow yourself just a few more breaths. Slowly and gently, start closing your mouth, coming back to yourself, coming back to today and now. And you can start wiggling your toes and your fingers. Bending your knees, bringing your knees into your belly, moving them side to side. And then turn on your side, your right or your left. Just lie there for just a little bit with this unconditional love as you're breathing it in and out. I am love and I am loved. I love myself in the best and in the worst. I am love and I am loved. Very slowly and gently move into a child pose and give yourself a nice stretch. Child pose meaning on your knees when your crown is down to earth. And just grounding your crown, bowing down to Mother Earth. Take a few breaths in child pose, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And very slowly, at your own time, when it feels right, roll yourself back up. Coming back to seated. And those of you who can activate your cameras, it will be great to look at you, see you. And if not, that's okay too. Then, thank you, Victoria. And then rub your hands. And give yourself a nice massage. Face, your head, your eyes, your neck and your throat, your heart, your shoulders, yeah. Back, your hips. You can reach all the way down to your toes. Welcome yourself back. Welcome yourself back. Yeah. How are you doing? Yeah. What did we learn about unconditional love? What shifted? What shifted from you from the beginning of the class till now? What did you notice? How does it feel to breathe into unconditional love and knowing that you can be loved unconditionally? You don't need to be anyone, just for you. Anyone like to share? Acceptance, yeah. No worries, no expectations. Yeah, we forget that, right? And we come into this marathon of expectations. I need this, I need that. Yeah. Shift away from good versus bad expectations, yes. Innocence, the innocence of love, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. What did you learn about love? How can you be the love that you're seeking? Did it clarify anything for you, how to be the love that you're seeking? Yeah. So you can see, I was hoping that the message will be about this class is the expectations that we put on others, right? And we're seeking love in all the wrong places. And when we truly learn how to love ourselves unconditionally, then we really don't have anybody, and we don't have the expectations of someone else to come and nurture our wounds. Because in the end, it's your responsibility, right? And the partner pressing your wounds, they're only telling you, hey, look here. Look here, it needs to be loved more, it needs to be cared more. You need to be more forgiving to yourself, right? But like I said in the beginning, that through partnership, that's when we're evolving and changing the most. So if you ever get to this comfortable place of loving yourself and being great and amazing with yourself, don't forget to keep going and share the love that you are, right? And if you are in a relationship, don't forget to receive your partner as your teacher. Then you evolve and change even faster. Right? So in our chat, we have our group. If you haven't yet, on Facebook, we have our Conscious Breath, Conscious Life community. There's a link below. Please join our group. And if you are feeling that shifted and changed some stuff and want to know more about the 10-week, very intense and rapid transformation, there's a link in the chat as well. So please copy that and book your session as soon as you can. And I hope you had an awesome time. I hope you have transformed, changed, and shifted. And if there's anything that you want to add on or ask, please do. And we're going to have more masterclasses coming up. So do stay connected with the community, our Facebook community, so you'll be always included. And I think we'll have that the class sent out to you, the recording sent out to you in the next few days, not right away, so somewhere in the beginning of the week or end of the weekend. So bear with us. And yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for being part of it. And it was my honor to be and support you through that. And be part of this amazing transformation, how to be the love that you're seeking. Conscious love navigation. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Lars. Thank you, Mike. Mike, am I saying it right? Louisa, thank you. Beautiful group, beautiful transformation. Do take advantage of this free 30 minutes with me and do join our group.